Welcome to episode 11 of Mr. Wizard's Workshop, the Seinfeld Chain, what it is and how to use it. So, by a practice I put into place for myself over the last month or so, which I found to be really useful and motivating. I got the idea for this from the book, The One Thing by Jay Papasan and Gary Keller. If you've watched the last couple of episodes of Mr. Wizard's Workshop, then you know I've been studying this book and sharing some of the key ideas and practices from episode 9, How to Make Your Business Success Inevitable, and episode 10, Willpower, what it is and how does it impact your productivity. So if you haven't watched these episodes, know that I highly recommend this book and go back and watch them, you slacker. So I'll put the link to these two videos in the comment section. So your actionable item for this week, if you don't already have one, will be to order a large annual wall calendar. I'll put a link to the one that I have in the comments. So a little further along in this video, I'm going to explain why you want this, how to use it, and give you examples of how. So this week's episode is brought to you by the good folks at the Dwarf Battle Cry Armory, the master armorer team of Olin Kneecrusher and his lovely wife Esmeralda. So whether you're in the front lines of a huge set piece battle, trading personal scores with orcs, goblins, cave trolls, and wargs, you want only the best armament your hard-earned mithril can buy. If you get your gear from Dwarf Battle Armory, you know you have the best there is. Remember, when you need them not merely dead, but really most sincerely dead, Dwarf Battle Cry is the only choice, except no substitute music. So I have the live attendees on mute. Please hold your questions and discussion until the end. I will allocate 10 to 15 minutes at the end if anyone has any follow-up questions or discussion. And as usual, I'll edit out your questions and comments from the video if you tell me it's something that you don't want to share with the world. Backstory for this is Brad Isaac, a software developer. Years ago, he was an amateur comedian. And when Seinfeld was a brand new television show, Jerry Seinfeld was still a touring comic. At the time, Brad was hanging around clubs doing open mic nights and trying to learn the ropes. So one night he was in a club where Seinfeld was working. Before Seinfeld went on, he just approached him and asked him if he had any tips for a young comic. So what he told him was something that would benefit Isaac and many other people for a lifetime. So what Seinfeld said is the way to be a better comic was to create better jokes. And the way to create better jokes was to write every day. And he shared a unique calendar system that Seinfeld used to pressure himself to write every day. And here's how it worked. So get a big wall calendar that has a whole year on one page and hanging it in a prominent place. And the next step was to get a big magic marker. I'm going to recommend getting a dry erase. And for each day that he accomplished his task of writing one joke, he got to put a big red X over that day. So after a few days, you'll have a chain and you just keep at it and the chain will grow longer every day. So you'll like seeing the chain, especially when you get a few weeks under your belt. Your only job each day is to not break the chain. He said it again for emphasis, don't break the chain. So the thoughts about this from the One Thing book is it's simple. It's based on doing one thing, the most important thing. It creates its own momentum. You could look at an annual calendar and be overwhelmed. How can I commit to this for an entire year? But the system is designed to bring your biggest goal to the now and simply focus on adding the next X. As Walter Elliott said, perseverance is not a long race. It is many short races, one after the other. So as you complete these short races and get the chain going, it actually gets easier and easier. momentum and motivation start to take over. Note that Seinfeld's example, his one thing is a specific measurable goal. It is not research jokes. Think about what makes a good joke or watch other comedians. It is write one joke a day. Notice also is there's no quality measure. So it doesn't have to be a good joke. That'd probably be preferable, but it's write one joke a day. So the principle is to choose tasks that are simple to maintain and capable of producing the outcome that you want. Another way of saying this is to focus on actions and not motion. So I'm going to share a picture of my large calendar, which is mounted to the front of my vision board. I did a whole episode on vision and vision boards a while back, so I won't elaborate on the benefits of a vision board right now, but there are several. Flip over and open that picture and share it with you. So this is the annual calendar. As I said, it's mounted to a prominent place on the front of my vision board. So next I'm going to home into the months of July and August to better illustrate how I'm using this. Okay, so you'll see that I have green X's starting on July 10th. So that represented the day when I started putting this into practice for myself, specific to my one thing. So each day, first thing in the morning, I think about and plan. It's a 5-minute investment. What is my one big thing for today based on my big picture one thing? My big picture one thing is to master online marketing, to become over time a marketing expert. And then each day there is a particular action or goal that with a little thought, I land on an understanding. This is the thing that would be most important to focus on for today to move me along towards achieving that bigger picture goal. I then time block it out in my daily calendar. I've also done a episode on time blocking. Probably going to do another one in the not incredibly distant future because it is just so important. And I want everyone to really take advantage of this. So I time block out my one big thing, usually in 60 to 90-minute time blocks. I do those first. My goal is at least 50% of the time I have available for my workday, I allocate to working on that one thing. And if I achieve that one thing, if I get that done, even if I don't get anything else done, then I've had a successful day. Woo, party on. So you'll also see some starting on, when did I start it? Yeah, Monday, August the 8th, you'll see some red X's. So you can also use this frame to eliminate bad habits. I've focused in on a particular thing that I want to eliminate from my life, and each day that I don't do that thing, I give myself in this case, a red X. So if you're wondering about what is that one thing, sorry, none of your damn business. The other thing you'll see is you can also use this for weekly events. There's an orange X in Sundays that represents this weekly episode. So I've made a commitment to every week show up on time, do a good job presenting, record the content, do whatever editing I need to do, and then upload the video. So every week when I get that accomplished, I give myself in this case, orange. I mean, the one thing I would counsel you on is don't try to do too many things. I've homed in on basically my daily one thing, my daily most important negative habit I want to eliminate, and my most important weekly recurring commitment. And those three, for right now, that's enough. I wouldn't want to over-engineer. Additional resources, I'm going to post the following links in the video description for this video. So click on the white link with the 3 dots and more right below this video. I'll post a link to the book, The One Thing. I highly recommend it. Encourage you to read it. A link to an erasable annual wall calendar at Amazon, the one that I use. A link to my YouTube video episode 9. A link to my YouTube video episode 10. I'll also post a link to an article in Life Hacker that gives a little bit more details about the backstory around how this particular thing came into the world. So thanks for watching this video. If you aren't already registered for this live workshop each Sunday, Mr. Wizard's Workshop, and you want to learn how to level up your productivity in weekly bite-sized chunks, then you're invited to register. Each week, I'll feature instantly actionable steps you can take to overcome procrastination and up your productivity game. So just hit the link in the